Hello there, Internet. It is I, Tank Top Douche, coming at you with yet another 12-year-old react and the reaction video to a Legends of Runeterra champion reveal for you guys today. Yeah, that could work as an intro. Kind of convoluted, but I think it goes to the point. So yeah, today we have a new champion, and this champion may actually end up being very special. I know nothing about NORRA, and it turns out I may not be alone in this actually, because from what I've seen, people commenting on Twitter and Reddit and such yesterday, it was hinted that NORRA was going to be the new champion, and apparently she's Yumi's owner. I mean, that's pretty much all I know about her. And that she has glasses from what I can see in the thumbnail right there. And basically, what's really special about this champion is that according to the community, because I'm not a League of Legends champion expert, just saying here, but it is very likely that she is the first, like she makes history for Legends of Runeterra, because it's the first time that we get a champion, an exclusive champion, or exclusivity over a champion before the other Runeterra-based games, right? So League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, Wild Rift, etc. We got a champion that they don't, and that has never happened in the history of this game ever since its inception. So this is a very big deal. Really exciting and a little bit bittersweet, because it turns out that when we finally get an exclusive champion, it's a Yordle. It's a Bandle City Yordle, our favorite kind of creature for this game. But yeah, I'm not really going to complain too much, and I'm excited and eager to see what NORRA does. We've only seen the portal cards, which are already a little bit controversial, and I'm going to explain why I think in this video, or maybe not. You know, I'm honestly all over the place. So what matters is that we must 12-year-old react to this champion first. See what she's about, you know, make sure that I am actually recording and haven't butchered this entire thing. All right, fantastic. Let's do this. So let's...
I seem to have misplaced my, self. Cup of tea? Fine by me.
Okay, so she's like a British Yordle. All right, good to know. Doctor Who of Yordles. 2 mana, 1/2. With the Mysterious Portal. Okay, we saw this card actually, well, not this card, like this new boon type announced yesterday. So let's take a look at her though. She is a 2 mana 1/2 with elusive, so 2 mana Teemo it seems. Nexus Strike, plant a she's literally 2 mana Teemo. Nexus Strike, plant a Mysterious Portal randomly in the top 4 cards of your deck. And level up, you've summoned 6 or more created allies. What a intro. Okay, so she mixes extremely well with the Mysterious Portal boon. In case you don't know what this is, it's an expansion on the boon card type. Yeah, I think we go with that. The same way traps expanded, you know, going from puff caps to including flash bombs as well. Boons have done so too, now not only including chimes in their repertoire, but also the Mysterious Portal, which is a different type of boon that, as you guys can see here, says summon a random 2 or 3 cost follower. If your board is full, then instead you create a 0 cost fleeting copy of it in hand. The reason why I say the Mysterious Portal is controversial is because there are a bunch of 2 mana and 3 drop followers that are not included in the pool, and there's no real way to reference this unless you go onto Twitter and see the exact tweet that a developer made yesterday. So that's a bit of an issue in my sense, in my opinion, because there's no way for newer players to know what they can expect out of these. But basically, they've removed a bunch of upon entry effects, Nightfall and Daybreaks, and essentially they've left a lot of vanilla options, right? Because there was the option that I mentioned yesterday of pulling the Solitary Monk, which is a 3 mana 3/3 elusive from Ionia that recalls all of your other units on board, which would be game losing. So they've patched this up, but not really in an elegant way. And I felt like I needed to talk about this in the video, because I do believe it's a bit of an issue with the game, as some cards don't really... It's not clear how some interactions work until you actually try them out. And there's another example of that being like, it's a big of an issue enough to really start questioning whether Legends of Runeterra is really a card game, because, you know, as a card game player from when I was a teenager, like the golden rule for card games is if you read the text of the card and you know the game's rules, then you should understand everything about it, right? And that doesn't really apply to this game. So just something that I went a little bit of a tangent there, but it is an issue. It is something that should be discussed, I think, and it is not something that I personally find acceptable in regards to card game design. But you know, I'm just being a card game nerd here in some ways. So yeah, nonetheless, let's get back to it. So that's why it was controversial, okay, is anybody wondering. So we got the Mysterious Portal. It summons a random 2 or 3 cost follower, and we have a champion that plants these portals every time she strikes with a Nexus, like Teemo does with the mushrooms, and then she levels up once you summon 6 or more created allies, which I think is a very, very cool design. She could already mix well with champions like Victor, for example, even though Victor doesn't work with Mysterious Portal because you're summoning and not playing. So that's something to take into account. So I'm going to stop rambling, and we're going to watch the rest of the video and see what NORRA is all about. I don't know, I'm quite the tangent there. Quite the ramble.
I warmed the kettle.
Oh yeah, I forgot she was, you know, British Yordle. Well, she looks like she's gonna die unless Yumi comes in.
Hello, Yumi.
Oh.
I'm ignoring you, so you know I'm mad you left.
Bless my socks. Aren't you just a sight?
She's the creator of Yumi, right? or something like that.
I got your 6 shortcakes. Oh, spittle spat. I'll just keep the water boiling then.
So here they're just kind of like mixing it with like chimes and shit. Porta-Balooza, what is that?
Portals everywhere. Well, aren't you the cutest
Okay,
thing
we've
of a
seen that
dear
card
I
as
ever
well.
did see. Off we go.
I can't get over this British.
On it and on 'em.
This British Yordle. These accents, man. Can we talk about British Yordle here and fucking New Zealand, you know, Cyborg with Kaisa? Like these accents are getting out of control, man. I'm just saying.
The suspense is terrible.
We're gonna take a look at that card afterwards, okay? We do recognize that one.
Portals, up and down and all around.
All right. Not very action or dynamic, but you know, she does go down a slide and then reads a book. Fantastic. NORRA, elusive. Your mysterious portals now summon 4, 5, 6, or 7 cost followers instead. Oh my fucking god. This is right. Plant a mysterious portal randomly on the top of the card. Okay, so the same as before. But now instead of getting a 2 or 3 cost, you get a 4, 5, 6, or 7. Like the variance within NORRA is actually kind of ridiculous. It's kind of insane. But again, it seems like the variance is really high. But again, they've taken a lot of stuff out of the pool. I wish we had a list. I wish they could give us a proper list of what cards, what followers to expect. Even though, you know, like at the end of the day, it's just something that's random, right? But it's nice to know what the odds are and what you could potentially pull or what is actually impossible to pull. But this is a very strong discrepancy. Like going from a 4-drop to a 7-drop, like let's just say, like as a very straightforward statement here, there's a very big difference between spawning a 4-drop and a 7-drop the vast majority of the time. So that's what I'm talking about with like huge discrepancy there. Like there's just like some games NORRA's is gonna pop off, and some games like she could low roll like crazy as well. But I guess, you know, the first exclusive Legends of Runeterra champion is the RNG champion. Can we get some hype in the chat?
I think I'm quite
RNG,
ready
baby.
for a new adventure.
Oh, definitely gonna be new.
Me.
That's some good blocks here. The music. This is literally Doctor Who. It's Yordle Doctor Who. I haven't seen that card in a while, and not even when Bard was meta. The Yumi combination is just kind of weird. Oh, wait. I thought they said that no upon entry effects. They just got a dragon, like the 4/2, the hatchling. That's according to the dev tweet, that wasn't supposed to be pulled? I am really confused because they said that summon effects, like units with summon effects, were not in the pool of these portals. But we just literally saw one that has a summon effect that gives everything +2/+2. So I'm even more confused than I was with portals at the beginning of this video. Not a great thing.
Home is just around the portal.
The Tea Maker. Okay, getting the Mimic is actually pretty cool. Oh, the doggo!
Cup of tea, just what I needed.
That's insane though. Like all this happened at like burst speed.
A journey's end is just another's beginning.
Yeah, this is like the thing about NORRA is pretty much like every game is gonna seem very different. That's one of the great things about variants, right? In card games, even though people think that RNG is always bad, that's not the case. She is very, very much that though. Like it's just a bunch of random units, and I don't know exactly how much, how different, you know, the power outcomes will be from her pulls, because it really depends on what units are possible to pull. I thought that units with summoning effects were excluded from mysterious portals, but we just saw that that's actually not true at all. So I don't really know how to evaluate until I actually have a list of what cards, what followers can actually be brought out and which ones can't. Maybe like I misread. We can check the Twitter. Yeah, we're gonna check the tweet right after this actually, because there's a lot of questions with this champion. Her signature spell is the Portalpalooza. I absolutely love the name. Plus, plant 2 mysterious portals randomly in the top 4 cards of your deck, and then you draw 1. You're doing this for 5 mana. Like, this is an expensive play, but it does allow you to start cycling through your deck, and you are planting 2 mysterious portals, and this card being played when NORRA is leveled up seems really nutty. So I like it a lot as a signature spell. We have a very similar art here for the Eclectic Collection. At one point I thought they were the same card actually. But this one is 7 mana, burst speed. For each ally, plant a mysterious portal and 3 chimes in the top 10 cards of your deck. And plant a flash bomb trap and 3 poison puff caps on random cards in the enemy deck. Oh, that's hilarious. It's like the ultimate trap. Oh, we see it there. We see the mushroom. We see the flash bomb right there. And we see like origami creatures. Okay. I actually like this card. I don't think this card's going to be competitive, honestly. Like it feels extremely like expensive for what it's doing. But it's really funny, and I did want to mess around with it for sure. We saw a Junk Construct in yesterday's reveal, and we already talked about it. We did not see the Living Library though. That's a cool art. I'm not sure. It's actually like just paper taking form, right? It is a Fae though. 5 mana 4/3, elusive. When I'm summoned, if one of your traps or boons has activated this round, you draw 1. So, I mean, a 5 mana 4/3 elusive that draws you 1. I mean, compare this to the Submersible, right? Which is not that hard to enable, and it's a 5 mana 5/5 that draws you 1. So I don't really know if Living Library is actually going to be a thing, even in these sorts of decks, to be honest. We saw Magical Journey and Tea Maker, which we talked about yesterday, but we did not see the card that I'm covering right now, the Realm Maker. The Realm's Caretaker. It's a Yordle, a 6 mana 4/4. Each round, the first time one of your traps or boons activate, you give all allies +1/+1 and impact this round. Wow. Wow, this is a really cool finisher. This is a really cool finisher that's gonna actually, you know, make you benefit from a spread out board state. It's initially underpowered, but then just starts snowballing like crazy, and you can do some really cool setups. I actually like this card a lot. I think this is a neat design for a finisher for this sort of archetype, because it requires setup. It's really cool. Like I like this guy. I like his art as well. It sparkles with me. So like I said, it's looking fun. Don't get me wrong. Dimension Mysterious Portals. It's something that looks really fun to mess around with. I just wish we had more of a clear idea as to, you know, what to expect from these, and you know, just some clarification in the future for like, you know, when to design more like random spawns like this. If this is something that they're gonna apply to all spawns, or is it gonna depend on the mechanic? When are we fucking getting a rule book? You know, so questions like that, right? But all in all, like NORRA looks really, really fun as well. Not really my favorite kind of concept, right? Because I'm you know, I do like variants here and there, but I don't like champions that fully revolve around it. But I think that this is something that's going to be extremely... Because then again, I say that, but then I love playing me some Howling Abyss decks. So I am a bit of a hypocrite, I think, with this. Because I think I may end up becoming a NORRA main after all this. So I'm not going to dive too deep into that... you know, to that argument. So yeah, I think I want to finish this video by taking a look at the tweet that I mentioned and seeing we can have a bit of a better idea what to expect from her. So we will be right back. All right, and we are back. I can take these off. I actually hear myself much better. So this is the tweet that I was talking about. It's from Riot Iamorus, who is a developer. He is actually the senior designer on Legend of Runeterra. And he said, he posted this tweet yesterday, which got a bit of backlash. But again, we appreciate these things being communicated, right? Whether we like the message or not is a different story, but we still appreciate these things at least being clarified prior and not having to figure them out on our own. So that's something. So it says, some portal facts. They do not contain units with play effects, plunder, day, or nightfall. Basically, only units you are happy to put directly into play. Okay, so this already clarifies my concern earlier, or my question rather, because I was confused about the hatchling being spawned. But if the hatchling is a summon effect, not a play effect or a plunder effect. So this is what they're saying here is basically only units you are happy to put directly into play. So no negative effects like Solitary Monk. Solitary Monk was exiled from the portals after ending at least 2 playtest games that I am aware of, which is to be expected. So it's basically these play effects, plunder, day, or nightfall, and also the Solitary Monk, because Solitary Monk is neither of those. The Solitary Monk is a summon effect, so she's also included in that package. Again, not an elegant solution. Not an elegant solution to the problem, but at least it's going to end a lot of frustration, and they're going to minimize like just these crazy... I mean, there's still going to be a lot of crazy RNG moments with this card, don't get me wrong, just because you can pull a 7-drop like the Hatchling, and instead of that, you can just pull like a random 4-drop instead. Like, there is a huge variance regarding power level of the units that you can get through the portal, but the huge like auto loss, just stupid pulls like Solitary Monk and other units that may be very underwhelming because they require, you know, a play effect or a plunder or something like this to actually attain value, is out of the picture, which is very relevant. So we do have that clarified, which is nice. Ultimately, I mean, here's one of the examples, right? The fact that a new player has to look up a random rider tweet to know what they can pull from portals just makes things unintuitive and serves as another deterioration from the game. I mean, I don't know if another deterioration from the game is how I would label it. But I do believe that it does take away from Legend of Runeterra's credibility as a card game, right? Because, again, card games are supposed to be like, you know the rules, you read the text, you shouldn't have to look anywhere else for anything else, right? Like, that's the basic gist of it. And this is like one of the few card games that actually doesn't fall into that category. So, is it really a card game anymore? I don't know, because there's no actual cards. It's a digital card game, right? So, again, we're going on a bit of a weird tangent here, but I really wanted to get this off my chest and start a discussion as well. Like, ask what you guys think. Do you think I'm making too much of a deal out of this? I'm being too picky about it? Do you disagree with what I say? Or do you think we should have a certain standard for these things? Regardless, like, I don't want to dwell too much on it because I just want to, you know, talk about the actual cards. Overall, the portal seemed really fun to mess with. I really like the fact that they're expanding on the boons. I like the fact that there's a card that connects the boons and the traps all together in one. I think it's very clever and very funny. And I am definitely going to be having a huge amount of fun with this archetype. Like, no matter what, no matter how much you're into RNG, it's fun. Like, you cannot, there's a reason why it exists. There's a reason why digital card games incorporate it a lot. And I do think that this is a relatively, you know, responsible way of incorporating it, even though it's it may be a bit crazier. Like, it's hard to evaluate until you actually play with it, because I don't know what's the average amount of portal units that you summon in a game, because the more that you summon, the more room for variance to have a role in the outcome of the match, etc., etc., right? Like, we're gonna have to wait. But it seems fun as hell. It's really cool that we got our own exclusive champion, even if it's a Doctor Who Yordle. And that's essentially where I'm going to end this video. Let me know what you guys think about NORRA. And tomorrow we'll be back at it with some more. And that's basically it. Love you. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I was going to say enjoy the games. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.